Good evening, everyone. I'm John Carlstrom, the head of school at Black Pine Circle School. I'm so thrilled you could join us tonight for our annual spring soiree. This year our theme is ARTseen, Together We Rise. We chose this theme because since the school's inception, going all the way back to 1973, art has been a critical element of what we do. And I can explain it best by reading to you a couple of quotes. Joseph Campbell said, "The goal of life is rapture. Art is the way we experience it. Art is the transforming experience." James Baldwin said, "The purpose of art is to lay bare the questions that have been concealed by answers." Art is about curiosity. It's about inquiry. It's who we are. And it fills our days at Black Pine Circle School. Tonight, you're going to get to see things that lifted our students in drawings and in other art pieces, and it's going to be at the center of what we do. Art surrounds me in my office here. I wanted to share with you some art that students shared with me. This is by Kate, and I love this piece. I keep it right next to me. Kate drew this for me last year when she was in kindergarten, and it's one of a series of pictures she drew for me, and you can see that this is transformative art. And then I wanted to show you a picture that Parisa drew for me last year as well. And you can see how these kids make art an everyday experience of their lives. Finally, I wanted to share with you a picture that I painted. And this was part of something our admin team did this fall to really release our minds and get some time together and enjoy painting together. I know, I need to stick to my day job, but it was fun making it. Tonight is going to be a big party, and we need a party. It's been a heck of a year, and I'm so glad you joined us. Thank you for coming, and I have one last story for you. Now that I'm fully vaccinated, my wife and I were standing in line for the movies last Saturday, and of course, I ran into a Black Pine Circle alum. Jack McDermott and his mom, Ann, were standing in line, and we started talking, and Jack let me know that he was headed to Loyola Marymount Film School in Southern California. And Ann said, "You remember what Jack's masterwork was?" And I said, "Yeah, Jack made a film." And she said, "Well, now he's made a feature film with Sean Okimoto, a 2-hour movie, because the arts meant so much to him. And that movie's going to be on the festival circuit. So I hope BPC understands the importance of the arts." And I said, "Ann, Jack, you couldn't have told me that story at a better time. Thank you for sharing that. That's why art matters. That's why we rise together. Let the party begin."
Welcome to the soiree, the art scene. It's going to be an awesome evening. Last year, I stood at this gate and it was locked and the school was empty. And this year, we're starting to get things opened up. It's awesome. Things are slowly but surely returning to a new kind of normal. And thank you to everybody who got a party package and participated this afternoon. I had an awesome time hanging out, saying hi to everybody, and it was just awesome to be able to get together and celebrate together. Let's actually go in and take a look at what's going on.
One thing that's really kept me afloat during the pandemic is
video games.
The game is a really nice distraction.
lots of food,
Baking.
Spotify, audiobooks,
That creative process.
Having a little heart-to-heart and
beauty in darkness.
And my family and the BPC community.
My family. My family.
my family.
Family movie nights.
Human connection.
Playing with our unicorns and having unicorn school, and it was all very, very fun.
I'm Claire. I'm 27 years old and I attended Black Pine Circle for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. During the pandemic, I've been reading a lot of art books and I finally started my own brand. I'm still in the beginning stages, but I'm prototyping different kinds of bags and pouches. I'm here in northern Japan. I work here at Kidzome Sorai, which is part of a community design firm called Yamagata Design. Want to come inside? I work here as an artist and fabricator, and I do all different kinds of work. I'll show you a couple things that I've made. This is a classic Japanese notebook. Kind of like a campus notebook, a notebook that you take to class. Maybe you don't recognize it, but this is a gigantic version of it. It's made out of cardboard. I actually make a lot of things out of cardboard. I'll show you some more in a second. Take off my shoes here. I want to take a moment to talk about how Black Pine Circle prepared me for my career. I was completely addicted to art club. My mother could not get me to sign up to any other classes. I loved the intimate setting with my teacher, Miss Dutcher at the time, and how I got to work quietly at my own pace with my fellow clubmates. Also making my art portfolio for high school. I applied to the Rusazawa San Francisco School of the Fine Arts, SODA, in San Francisco on Twin Peaks. And to do so, you need to have a full drawing portfolio, which I was lucky enough to be able to do in and around the campus during my after-school time. Also, there's just a lot of teachers that are so willing to be there for you if you're not sure what your path is. Just admitting that to them, having a little heart-to-heart, and listening to what they have to say about who they think you are and having a moment to discuss it was really valuable to me. I know that Mr. Karlstrom's door is always open, so if you're wondering who you want to be and what you can do to get there, I recommend giving him a knock. So nice to meet you.
So here we are upstairs at the principal Tanvir's office, and this is your opportunity with the raffle to be principal for a day. The only time I was ever up in an office like this was usually not for the right reason, so this is an opportunity to actually win it and take on the power for a day. Oh my gosh, Tanvir, how are you?
I am fabulous, how are you?
Good, good. So there's a raffle in the soiree tonight, yeah, that somebody can actually take your job for $5.
What?
All this becomes the realm of your kingdom, and do they get to take care of all of the other, like 7:30 start, 8 o'clock finish,
7:30
Zoom
start,
meetings?
Absolutely, and they get to hang out in my cozy corner right here.
Oh wow!
They get to give chocolates out to teachers.
Chocolates?
Yes.
There's chocolate in
There's
here?
chocolates for teachers
Oh.
right there. They get to sleep on the couch when they need a nap.
Oh my gosh!
Because, being principal for a day is very exhausting. Yes, you can decide a lot of things. You can make a lot of decisions in just one day.
There you have it. Make sure you've got not just one, not just two, but 10 tickets.
For my art project, for what kept me afloat during COVID, I chose my trampoline outside. It's in the backyard, and every day I bounce on it with my brother, and it's really helped keep me going, keep a sense of routine. So yeah.
Okay, so first of all, definitely a lot of video games I feel like a lot of people can relate to because it can get you out of like the world to just like escape and do what you want. It's also entertaining, and you can just hang out with your friends, be on calls for hours and play video games because it doesn't require you to think too much, but it's also just something fun to do. And music also was a really big thing because I discovered a lot of music that I wouldn't normally listen to, and it's also really good.
Hi, my name is ARTseen, and one thing that got me through COVID was Spotify. I listen to Spotify a lot, and I love music. So yeah.
I really loved playing on my iPad on Hopscotch, which is a coding app, with the Kenny and sharing screen on Zoom, and playing with our unicorns and having unicorn school, and it was all very fun.
I judged the COVID sign with all different things inside, like friends and family, things that I've done, picked up like sports, homework has kept me afloat, and yeah.
So this is my project on what has kept me afloat. As you can see, it's lots of food because I like to eat food because it tastes good. And also, I would quite literally die if I didn't eat food.
Something that has kept me going during this challenging time is Black Pine Circle with all their wonderful classes and nice teachers.
For my project, I drew my Animal Crossing character because during COVID, Animal Crossing has really been one of the things that's helped keep me afloat. The game is a really nice distraction, and it makes you feel like you have more control over the small little worlds you create with your villagers and characters. And it's a really nice distraction at the end of the day or after, a stressful or hard day at school. So I really love it, and that's why I painted my Animal Crossing character.
Video games, because video games have kept us all afloat, like a chat program, because that's basically how we hang out with our friends in the era of COVID. Coding, because I've been doing a lot of coding, or a little bit of coding recently. Cats, because my animals have helped me stay afloat, and just like friends, because friends, cool, yay, happy.
This Batman, this guy, that's my controller. I actually did a lot of detail in my picture. Here's my headphones. They're my mom's work headphones, but I stole them from her. Okay, now I'm going upstairs. And then the picture's over here. Picture. This is Enzo. This is Liam. This is me. This is my Xbox controller. This is my iPad. This is my Xbox. I know you said 30 seconds, but I did 90 seconds.
Hi, I'm Miss Kim, the lower school art teacher, and what has elevated me in the last year is my connection with nature, taking walks in the forest and breathing in that beautiful clean air, or going to the ocean and listening to the waves, feeling the mist on my skin, watching the sunset or the moon rise. These are all things that have kept me going. Another thing that's kept me going is making art and getting to make art with many of you students, and even over Zoom, even finding the ways that art is a tool to keep us going has definitely been crucial and key for me in this last year. And being the art teacher at BPC is my dream job. I felt lucky to have figured out rather early that working with kids and working with art, two things that made me really happy. And I wanted to find a way to get to do both of those things for my profession. So being the art teacher is my dream job. And so happy to be making art in person again with children. It brings me so much joy. And I really, really feel grateful to have found a place like BPC. I've been here for 18 years, and this place is amazing, and how art is so key and so valued by so many different people in our community as we hold that creative process. It's such a beautiful way here. And I'm so grateful to get to be a part of it. Grateful to get to be present for that problem-solving kind of moment of making what we see in our minds in front of us, or there for that moment when something does not go as planned, and you got to adapt to it and figure out how to roll with it and figure out where your art is leading you that you weren't expecting to go. It doesn't look like what you had in your mind. And what an amazing learning process that is. And usually those are my favorite parts of my art pieces, the unplanned parts. And there was a time when I was like 18 and I was 17 and I was working with kids in a summer camp and we were making art, and this kid looked up at me and was like, look at what I made. And I was like, oh, wow, like to see that joy and see his voice coming through his art. I was like, oh, I'm hooked. I want to be a teacher. Oh man, I come from a long line of teachers. So I was like, darn it. I'm going to do that, because that was such a satisfying moment to get to be present for. And I'm so grateful that it's what I get to do. And thank you all for being here and for participating in this event and for supporting the arts in the world and for supporting all of our BPC artists. And I'm really curious, what kept you going over the last year?
For my project, I chose me and a friend sitting outside in nature because after a stressful day at school, it's really nice to see your friends and get out into the world and enjoy the sun. And so that's just something that's really helped keep me afloat during quarantine. Yeah.
What's kept me going in Corona is my cute cat Mochi, and I'm cuddling with him, and he's really cute, but he's also really fat. And that's all.
Hi, so I'm Violet in the 6th grade, and Hamilton has definitely kept me afloat. And I love nature, so I put a butterfly and the moon and stars. And there's a quote from one of my favorite musicians on there, as well as some music notes in a book because I love reading. And there's also a soccer wall because soccer and my soccer teammates have definitely helped me a lot, and a pencil for drawing and writing. I also put John Lawrence because lambs. And so, yeah.
What lifts me up in this hard time is probably my family and my friends. And yeah, I think that's it.
What's elevated me in this hard time is my family and my dog and my cat, and being in nature, like sleeping on my deck under the stars and going for hikes, chasing the rainbows and stuff like that.
I'm Farrell, I'm in 7P, well, I drew on my paper some like binge watching stuff and online stuff and games and going to the store and thinking of friends.
I drew a bunny. I drew my roller skates. I drew my iPad and Apple Pencil because I like to draw on it. I drew a ballerina. And I drew my point shoes because I do a lot of ballet, and that has helped me get through this pandemic. Thank you. Goodbye.
The main thing is my cat, because he's just always there since he's a pet that lives with me. And he's really cute. The background is a watercolor because I really like to watercolor, and I've been doing a lot of watercolor during COVID.
My Nintendo Switch and Mario. I also have tennis because I started tennis during the pandemic and I really like it. I also have a magic card, an MTG card, and something I can do by myself and with my friends.
I put on lots of food. I put on ice cream, sushi, burgers. And then I also put on books because I really enjoy reading. And I've been listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks, so I also put that on.
Hi, I'm Corey Keller, BPC parent and also curator of photography at SF MoMA. I just wanted to say how proud I am of Black Pine Circle's commitment to the arts, particularly during such a difficult year. To me, art is not just a form of human expression, but it's also a vehicle for human connection and for empathy. And this past year, I've really been inspired by and sustained by the creative responses of the artists that I work with to this difficult moment, and the kinds of emotions they've given voice to, ranging from anxiety and grief, but also to optimism and joy. One made work about the loneliness he experienced during shelter in place, and another made a project that allowed her children to participate in it. And still a third made postcards so that he could send art to anybody who he thought might need some during this time. But above all, I was inspired by the way their work can tell an individual story while reminding us of the connections between all those individual stories. So I think that whether your kid learns to draw or to paint is kind of beside the point. It's about sharing one's perspective, one's particular individual perspective, but also knowing that all of those perspectives together make a community. So support BPC and support the arts. Thanks.
Great to be here just among some of the stuff that in the art scene that we have going on that's been highlighted tonight. So one of the big raffle items is Big Sur, and there's only 100 tickets, so you better go in there fast. Your opportunity to win on the Big Sur raffle is really, really good. Get in, because if you're not in, you can't win. The other raffle that's awesome is the fine dining raffle, either Chez Panisse or the French Laundry. You get $1,000 to spend. You never do it yourself at one of those restaurants. A great opportunity to do it. If you want, you can spend it at Bacante's, but I live next door to Bacante's, so I'm not going to be doing that. And this is another limited number of tickets, so they're selling out fast. Get your tickets now.
Hi, my name is Adriana Furlong, and I'm a Black Pine Circle alum. Growing up, I was a very dreamy kid, you could say. Very kind of invested in art as a way of expression. And I think that Black Pine Circle really gave me perhaps the space and the room to allow that creativity to have its time to develop, which I think it's not very common. BBC laid the groundwork for the confidence I have today, whether it be doing reviews for art magazines, assisting teachers in the classroom, or sustaining my own studio practice. I think having that space in which I was allowed to express myself was invaluable. I think the pandemic, as everything has kind of went radio silent in a way, we've all been cloistered in our various homes, or, going back to live with family. In the uncertainty of it all, which feels, out of control, I think art has been something for me that I could count on to create beauty in darkness and beauty in scarcity, and share that beauty with other people. I think that has been the most rewarding part. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ian, and my favorite project in 6th grade was the weaving project. My brother for Christmas made me, my mom, and my dad these cool double-sided weavings, and so I thought I'd try to do it myself, and it turned out very well.
So a fun art project that I've been doing over this pandemic is creative weaving, and it's kind of cool because with all this free time, I'm able to spend hours like sitting at my desk just working through something that I never really had the chance to before, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been able to teach my brother a little bit, and I've gotten some cool results out of it.
So here we are talking about the actual auction item for the soiree tonight. 3 vacation homes up for auction. This beautiful home is not one of them. But if you want to bid on it, you can. We can make arrangements for that. The places that we have, there's a 1 week in Germany. There is a place in Sonoma, 3 offerings, and you can start your bidding and watch the bidding. Keep an eye that your bid is the highest bid. Make sure you get that vacation home.
Hi there, I'm Miss Reeves, the middle school art teacher. And what has kept me afloat during this pandemic is getting to go into the backyard with my family and have family movie nights and sleep on the trampoline under the stars. It's very soothing and calming, as well as making art with my students weekly. That's another thing that's really kept me going during this time. What I love about teaching Black Pine Circle students is that I feel as though they are really willing to take risks and push the materials and try new things. They tend to dive right in and make each project really unique. Once I had somebody come through on a tour and ask how it was that the kids didn't just copy each other's art. He was saying that in his experience, kids tended to do that. And I thought a lot about it, and I believe it's because the culture of BPC is that we're really interested in your ideas as the students, and we're really interested in your voice. So there's a certain amount of safety that's established straight out of the gate, and I think that's what allows the arts to be really rich at Black Pine Circle.
Hi everybody, I'm Peter Wong and I'm the chairman of the board for the school. Ewan and I are coming to the end of a 13-year run here at Black Pine Circle, with Jackson as a graduating senior at Berkeley High and Daniel as a graduating 8th grader. And those many years ago when we were looking for a school, we wanted something that offered academics plus, a commitment to strong core academics plus something extra. And for us, that was the arts in all its forms, drama, music, and the visual arts. So it's fantastic that we're celebrating the arts here tonight because we've really come to appreciate how important the arts are in a fulsome and complete developmental and educational environment for our kids. Now I'd like to take this time to thank you all, the teachers, staff, parents, for modeling during these past 14 months of the pandemic the values that we want to instill in our kids: resilience, patience, kindness, and gratitude. That's been really critical in helping us navigate through these challenging times. So thank you so much for all of that and for sticking together as a community, because it's been extremely important. And if you're feeling particularly grateful, we hope that you'll support the Resilience Fund and the soiree. So thank you very much, and have a great evening, everybody.
Here we are at the FAD, the old community hall, center of the school community, and I want to talk about Raise the Paddle. Great opportunity for you, if you haven't given already, just to give to the school. If you want to give for a second time, Raise the Paddle High. This is directly to the Resilience Fund. Used to be called the Annual Fund, but with the pandemic, it's a Resilience Fund to help with all of the expenses that come up from that, and then help other families within our community in the school. So raise it high, raise it proud. The most important part of this is there is a $25,000 challenge match. So anything that you give on Raise the Paddle is automatically doubled. Raise it high.
During the pandemic, I really enjoyed baking new things.
Skype, and I met a couple of people on Skype, and that helped me stay not insane. And I found kind of a community with Minecraft YouTube, and that was really cool to be part of. And a last thing that helped me was Spotify, because it was a form of escapism away from the space I have and the same walls. So, yeah, thanks for watching.
My name is Isaac. I'm in 7th grade, and a few things that have kept me afloat are going on Discord calls with my friends, and playing video games with them, and also playing sports.
One of the many things that has kept me afloat during this pandemic is my electric guitar. It's been really fun to play. So I decided to draw it.
During the pandemic, I've really enjoyed drawing fashion by famous fashion designers.
One of the things that has kept me afloat during being at home has been writing letters to my best friend.
Playing board games with my family, and playing video games, and watching TV.
My dog, because she actually really helps me when I'm sad, because she always makes me happy again. And I really like the Wings of Fire series of books, because I can read them when I'm bored or sad. And I really like playing Among Us with my sister, which is why there's a bunch of these Among Us characters around here. Also, I added the BPC logo because BPC is a really good school, and I think that's helped me too.
During the pandemic, what's kept me going has been listening to music. Whenever I'm feeling stressed or just need to relax, I can go put on one of my playlists, and I'll just instantly feel calm and better, and it also really helps me study whenever I need to. So I decided to draw my phone playing some music and my earbuds, as well as some of my favorite albums that I've been listening to.
I think that baking is really fun and calming, and I really like having that time just to myself. And I also really like experimenting with different kinds of recipes.
Hello, BPC community. So 2020 and 2021 have been pretty hard times for us. So things that helped me move forward are like entertainment, TV, pets and games, and family. Something that brought me joy is playing with my pets, because it's fun, and it's also kind of funny when I play with them sometimes. I'm really grateful for everyone in my family and the BPC community, especially the BPC community, because it's a really hard job to teach students, and especially in this time, so I just want to appreciate that, and thank you.
going to get boba with my friends, so that's why I drew boba. And I have also been drawing and painting recently, so I drew a canvas and a paintbrush. And I drew musical notes because I've been playing the piano.
In quarantine, baking has really calmed me down. I do it for my friends, family, for myself, whenever I'm having a bad day, and it really helps.
One thing that has kept me afloat during COVID is listening to audiobooks on Audible, so I decided to draw my phone and some headphones with the Audible app.
For this project of what kept me going through the pandemic, I drew a picture of me and my mom hugging, and then around it, the dates that I got to hug different people in my family, in my extended family again. And I think the hardest part of the pandemic for me was losing that physical contact. And so being able to hug some people again and knowing that I would be able to hug them again eventually was what kept me going and what kept me hopeful throughout the pandemic.
And here we are, all the way back to the beginning. And fittingly, the thing that you're probably most depleted on from the pandemic, because I know I depleted my wine cellar pretty rapidly in the beginning of the pandemic. The instant wine cellar raffle. Buy as many tickets as you want. They're cheap. There's cases and cases of wine for the winner. And who doesn't want an instant wine cellar? This will actually be my and the cameraman's remuneration for today's hard work. So cheers, and we're away to get paid.
Hey, start taking the video.
Oh.
I already did. We can edit this out, it's fine.
Sonoma, actually I don't know where the houses are. Where are the houses?
I don't know either.
I don't know. Yeah? Or what is that? Racket. Ships. Blast off on Mars. That's the first grade right there? Kindergarten.
Hang loose.
It was so awesome to see everybody today. It's been a tremendously successful event. Thank you, everybody, for all of your participation. I hope you've enjoyed the whole proceedings this evening, but it's not over. You still have a week. Raise the paddle, raise it high. There's the instant wine cellar, if you can beat me for that. There's the vacation homes, Principal for a Day, Shape and East, French Laundry. You have a week. Give, give, give.
What an incredible show! What did you think, Socrates? He's difficult to impress, as you can see by his body language. Something like this doesn't happen without community coming together, and I want to thank all of you for participating. I want to especially thank the people who worked behind the scenes so hard. Our board of directors, Peter Wong, our chair, Eddie O'Sullivan, our host and pitchman, with Neela and Nicholas behind the scenes. John Ormsby, who did extraordinary work. He's our director of development and event co-chair. Leslie Jones, who did extraordinary work. She's our director of communications and event co-chair. Kim Livingston, our amazing K-5 art teacher. Jenny Reeves, our astounding 6-8 art teacher. Our co-chairs of Parent Circle, Katie Hakamian, Mariah Rose, and Trina Mastro. I want to thank BPC alums Adriana Furlong, who's at the Parsons School of Design, Claire Kowaleski, who's the lead artist and designer who came to us from Japan, Corey Keller, our curator of photography, who's a parent at BPC, and Bone Imports, Donkey and Goat Winery. I want to thank all of the families who donated vacation homes, hosted events, wine for the raffle, and volunteered at this school event. And I want to thank Blake Hansen, who helped to do all the post-production and sweetening of all these videos that you've been watching. So thank you, Blake. It was so fun to see so many of you on campus tonight, picking up your wonderful food packages and being there for this great party. I can't wait for the next 3.5 weeks together. May we see more of one another, and next year's going to be even better. Thank you, everyone. Remember, together we rise.